it.
These are my corrections.
We rolling?
Are rolling.
Fuck yeah.
With the homies.
Live from the lake, a weekly podcast where this amazing and wonderful and awesome and passionate family discusses music, amongst other things, because we're well versed along the lines of several different topics. We're doing this podcast to make you happy because we love you and care about you and want nothing more than to spend some quality time together and with you. Thank you for being here. My name is Jeremy.
I'm Jen.
I'm the middle child. Mason.
Our MC, Mason.
And I'm Noah. But enough about me.
We're not normally this awkward.
No, absolutely not. I thought Mom was going to go first.
I did too, but then
And
Dad
then-
looked at you.
They looked at me, and I was just waiting.
Oh
and
well, here we are.
Here, hi.
This is how we are.
Yep. Welcome. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Solid?
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing splendid.
Noah, how are you?
Deece.
Deece.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Don't nobody ask me how I'm doing.
Dad, no?
Did you like that? Don't nobody.
Don't know about it.
Don't nobody.
How are you doing?
I had a shit day today, but
I
I'm
know.
but I'm
Scotch
super.
tape and bubblegum.
Yeah, but I'm doing good.
What does that even mean?
Like just holding it together.
Okay.
No, we're doing good. I think you said you had an amazing one.
I have a great
Do you want to
story.
rock paper scissors? Because I have a good one too.
Yes, and actually, I would like to say also, for the record, I'm going to throw this out there. The four of us spend time all week long scrolling through the internet, finding interesting, weird things that we can have up our sleeve to talk about when we sit down for these moments. And it occurred to me today that at some point, and I'll be excited when it happens, but at some point, two of us are going to have the same trick up our sleeve,
Yeah, it's
and
kind
I
of
can't
amazing
wait
that we
for
haven't
it.
so far.
So I'm excited for when that day happens. But I will totally rock, paper, scissors you for it. Or you could just go first.
Noah
I don't
has
care.
a coin.
I was going to suggest a coin flip.
Ah.
You know, no chance of a tie. We just move right on. Doesn't have to be
Okay,
this like
flip it.
intense
Flip it.
thing.
Flip it.
All right, who's
You
gonna
call.
call it?
I'll be tails.
Oh my
Jeez,
gosh, it hit
Noah.
the microphone.
Jeez, Noah. All right, play
This
it.
is why we can't have
Heads,
nice things.
Dad wins.
All right, cool.
Boom
So
shakalaka.
So I heard I oh my gosh, I cannot believe this one. This one was nuts.
I'm ready.
If it's mine, I'm gonna be so fun. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
This I read this. The guy's name is Disgraceland Pod. I don't know if you know who this guy is. He's all over the interweb. He's got a podcast. He's on Instagram and stuff. This one was crazy though, and it mostly was crazy because it broke my heart a little bit.
Oh, that's not fun.
But here's the story. It involves two people that everybody who knows anything about music is aware of. Peter Tosh,
Okay.
one of my all-time favorites, original member of the Wailers, broke off, did his own thing, made a name for himself.
Legalize it, baby.
Yes. And Keith Richards,
Okay.
right? So the story goes like this. Keith Richards owns a place in Jamaica,
I'm shocked by that information.
and it's a sweet place.
I mean, I don't know.
He lends his place to Peter Tosh while he's gone, which is like probably 90% of the time.
Okay.
So Peter's living in Keith's place. By the way, the Rolling Stones signed Peter Tosh to their label.
Okay.
Peter Tosh is a Rolling Stones record
Label
label
artist.
recording artist. So Keith lends him his place, goes on tour. He's coming back from tour, calls Peter and says, "Hey, I'm coming into town. Take off. Like, I'm going to be there for a couple of weeks. Take off."
Bail. Yeah.
Peter says, "It's my house now. Don't come here. Like, don't come. This is now my home." Keith
So-
is like,
That's an awkward
Keith is like,
situation.
no, Peter. I don't think you understand.
I bought it.
It's my house.
I
I
paid
own
for
it.
it.
I lent it to you, and I'm coming right now. So kind of get the fuck out of here. Peter says, no, you don't understand. I have a machine gun, and I'll fucking kill you if you come here.
What? This does not.
Keith says,
seem
I'm
like
going to
that.
be there like soon. I highly suggest you get the fuck out of there.
Paint it red.
Keith shows up. Peter's gone. He stays for a couple weeks, does his Jamaican vacation, leaves again. Peter comes back, but this time brings his 4 fucking goats to live in the house with him, trash the fucking joint. Somehow Keith gets a call,
Solid.
figures it out,
move.
calls the Jamaican police, and they go and get Peter out of there forever, but not before he and his 4 goats like completely fucking trash the joint.
I thought you were gonna say that he like.
Mind blown.
That makes me sad that Peter
Dude.
Tosh is such a dick. That's a dick
Well,
move, man.
okay, so
we don't know the rest
things.
of the story, but I would assume that Peter Tosh is a dick after
Jamaica,
that.
baby.
Oh my god.
2 things. One, much more surprising to me that Peter Tosh didn't have a home in Jamaica.
I'm
and
sure he did.
Keith Richards
I'm
did.
sure he did.
Okay, but secondly, when you said he moved back in with his goats, that's not where I thought that was going at all. I thought you were going to be like, he moved back in with 4 homies and they fortified this place
Oh, for sure.
and turned it into a like
that would have made sense.
fortress. And then Keith showed back up and then called the
Okay,
police.
so
Something like
I
that.
would
but-
say clearly Peter Tosh has some sort of other residence on the island if he was able
Well,
to
where did he
randomly
go for
show up
weeks?
with goats.
Of course.
and where did he go for weeks while
Right.
Keith was
So-
there?
Who knows? Who knows? You
Just,
know what I mean?
you know
That's
what though?
crazy.
You listen, and honestly, like, you listen to reggae music, and I love reggae music.
But it's like love and light and happy.
Yeah, man, you're like thinking these are all like
Good vibes.
hippie, weed smoking souls that just want to chill and be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And you don't really expect shit like that.
Well,
So I was like,
Jamaica's not,
no, Jamaicans
paradise in,
yeah, I
in
think
that
it's-
respect.
I think you stay on the resort in Jamaica. I think that's the
the
rule.
rule.
And it has been the rule for quite some time.
I think my whole life it's been you stay on
yeah,
the
you
resort.
stay
in
on the
Jamaica.
resort. I haven't been there. I have no real interest in going to scary places, or places where I can.
where you're not supposed to leave. That
The resort.
scares me. Right.
Yeah. By the way, I don't even know if that's the case in Mexico anymore. Not to go down that rabbit hole. So what's yours?
Okay. So mine is, and this sort of relates, well, I should say it grabbed my attention because as all 3 of you know, and nobody else out there knows, not that it really matters, but I've been doing a ton of fundraising for this event at the end of the year for the high school. And so this fundraising story showed
You're
up,
like a soccer mom.
which I've never been ever. So yes, I'm very out of my depth. Okay, so this story pops up this week in Oklahoma. I don't know what sort of student organization it was, but a student organization decided to do a fundraiser for a non-for-profit that has something to do with, I believe, juvenile diabetes or maybe adult diabetes. I'm not sure, but it's like a coffee shop or something, and they're trying to raise money for this organization and
Yes.
whatever. So they hold this fundraiser and they're showing it live, like web live streaming that on the web.
The
and
fundraiser.
The fundraiser.
It's one of them web live
And
streams.
they're at the
And
the
they
coffee
raised-
shop.
No, I don't know where they are,
Okay.
but it got shut down by the superintendent semi quickly, I believe.
Why?
But not before they raised $150,000
Naked girls.
in Oklahoma. Now, I don't know, but I'm
What were they-
assuming Oklahoma doesn't have like a huge annual income as their like average, right? I have no
yeah.
idea.
That's not
150
I have no idea,
G's
but-
these kids raised, and how were they doing it?
selling Girl Scout cookies outside of dispensaries.
No, on video, licking peanut butter off of toes.
Oh yeah.
I saw this. It was like teachers' toes. Or
Yeah,
something.
no, I saw
was
something.
I don't know
it
whose
was,
toes
No,
were
no,
I saw
involved.
something.
It was-
I don't know if it was the same thing, but
What
it was
the
like
fuck?
it was like at a school assembly or something, and they were doing like
Big school
one
event,
of their like
and it was like
fucking
adult toes.
yeah,
children
no, it was
licking
like
them.
one
Crazy.
of the like relay race things. It was like go pop this balloon on the chair and then go suck on your teacher's toes. I don't know who
Okay, so
who thought this was a good idea.
well, wait.
Who volunteered for it as a teacher?
Hold on.
And then who, as a kid, was like, "I'm in.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna
I have a
school
worse
pride,
one.
baby.
Here's where I went immediately.
This is
What the fuck kind of people are out there that are willing to spend $150,000 to watch children suck peanut butter off of toes?
It's disgusting
yeah.
and wrong.
I didn't know that
everything
it was a
about that is
fundraiser.
bad. I'm glad they shut it down quickly. I can't believe they got participants to actually do that. Like, what the hell?
who's watching that?
Where's the adult in the room that's like,
I think it was literally
this feels like we're like crossing a line. Like, what are you talking about? That is so. Can you
Well,
imagine?
The
Okay,
superintendent wasn't in the room, and
How
then
about-
was
how about Lori comes home from
locked
school?
it down.
It's like, oh, hey, I had to lick
Oh,
my
hey,
gym teacher's
yeah, it was kind of a
toes
weird
today.
day at school today. We were doing this fundraiser at the coffee shop, you know.
Class action.
And then I licked peanut butter off of Mr. Smith's toes. Like, what?
Yeah,
I that's oh my god.
class
Is that insane?
action.
It's just really wrong.
Lawsuit.
So I think as far as your intro is concerned, I think I give it a
Horrific.
out of 5 stars. I give it a solid 4, and it would gotten a solid 5, but it has nothing to do with music.
Oh, no.
So you
It
should
has
have followed up
nothing
with
to do
like
music.
with
I'm
like
sorry.
That's
but,
okay.
You know.
What song most reminds you of
Oh,
licking
Jesus.
peanut butter
No.
off of?
No, we're not doing this.
No,
No, we're not doing this.
no, we
We're
are not.
doing this.
We are not doing any of this at all.
I mean, like, if you want to go down like
We don't.
we could do like awesome songs that you wouldn't think are creepy, but then you read the words.
Any Bell and Sebastian song.
Any Bell and Sebastian song. I mean, "Excitable Boy" by Warren Zevon is.
Sounds good.
It sounds like it's a really beautiful. Fun
Ben
song.
Folds has a few of those up his sleeve.
Ben Folds has a few.
Ween.
Ween.
I saw
Oh,
Ween
God.
just canceled a bunch of dates.
Oh,
Is
no.
there
What?
something wrong?
Is it
It was
Gene?
like it was a
Or Dean?
Diener statement. And it was just like, I need some time for my own like sanity and mental health and stuff. I want to hang out. I've got some family members that need my support and
Oh my gosh.
taking some time.
So
sending our
I
love
have
to Ween,
I have an
then.
interesting thing about Ween.
Oh yeah.
Actually, this is about Ween and 2 other people. So this is what's the date today? Oh, we're not allowed to talk about that. Noah the cop said no talking dates.
Today
It's
is
just
the
it puts
7th.
a deadline on me. Now you know.
I know. Hurry up
you
and
know,
get it
when
out.
this comes out in September.
It's
we'll
3/7.
regrettably admit that.
All right, it's 3/7.
Start the clock.
This is our first March episode.
Okay, this is our first March episode. On March 4th, 1994,
March the 4th be
which
with
was
you.
how many years ago?
94, 30.
Good job, guys. 30 years ago.
Oh, you're
I was
gonna make me
actually
throw
I was
up,
actually
I'm
I was
sure.
actually going to ask the
It'll be
kids.
the 30th anniversary.
30th anniversary of John Candy's death.
Wow.
John
Whoa.
Candy.
Do you know John
Candy.
Yeah, I know John Candy.
I looked him up and I looked
Uncle
up
Buck?
his death date, and his death date was 3/4/94. He died at the age of 43,
Wow.
which is a little crazy to think about. He accomplished a lot in a short life.
That's like
He was
Like-
43?
Yeah.
Wow.
how old was Chris Farley?
Don't know. I saw Chris Farley on the street in Chicago one day, though.
You did?
Eating breakfast. I was driving. He was sitting and eating breakfast. I didn't like say,
You're
"Yo,
so
what up,
good
Chris?"
at that stuff.
I just saw him. The
Dad can't.
Just leave him alone. They like.
But Dad
it's just a
doesn't
regular
know
guy.
who every famous person's name is. But I'm telling you, he fucking sees faces, and he's like, "Oh, there's Aramis Ramirez." As we're walking through the
that
airport,
was awesome.
I would never have paid
Aramis,
attention.
Aramis, legendary Cub. All right,
Amazing.
so John Candy died 3/4/94 at the age of 43.
Okay.
Kurt Cobain. We're coming up on his. His was actually my sister's birthday. 4/5/90
94.
94. So his 30th anniversary is coming up this year.
He'd be like almost 60 now. I saw the other day.
Well, 27. He'd be 57.
Yeah.
He died at the age of 27. I looked him up today, too. I'm actually doing work for this podcast. I don't know about the
No.
rest of you.
I'm
Oh
doing
yes,
some work.
27 to 57. Yeah, my bad.
27 times
I did
plus
see.
30
I looked
is-
up. Chris Farley only lived to 33.
33, yeah.
Damn.
Which again, when you talk about
64
career,
to
like,
97.
that's a lot.
He was a funny fucker.
Oh my God, he
Dude,
was.
that guy was so funny.
Oh
John
my gosh.
Candy was a really funny,
That's
talented
like
man.
that,
also,
but that like Chris Farley, that probably puts him in like a 6 or maybe 8 year window of
stardom.
yeah.
I would.
The
I don't-
window was
less.
small.
Like 4. Like you're talking like the
I don't-
same like probably close to similar window as like Hendrix. Maybe a year or two
It
longer.
could be
but-
actually. It could be 8.
I don't remember when he got famous.
He was at
I mean,
Second
I don't
City
know.
in Chicago.
Well, I
He's
remember
from
him
Wisconsin.
being on SNL.
He
but
went.
I don't-
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if
I
you
also
would
don't remember
consider
when he
him
died.
being at Second City famous.
He-
He's famous in Chicago at that point, but I don't know if he's famous everywhere. Once he gets on SNL, then he's famous everywhere. He's doing Lunch Lady Land and living in a van down by the river and
Chippendale.
Chippendales and
Okay,
Leave me
so
alone, I'm starving.
He died
sir,
in
are you aware that?
97,
Yeah, sir, are you aware
and
that
he
you're
was
drinking Colombian
33.
decaffeinated coffee crystals?
Yeah. Oh, that's a funny one. The waiter.
You lied to me.
Yeah.
he started on Saturday Night Live in 1990. He was on Saturday
Okay.
Night Live for 5 years.
So he was famous for 7 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he was born in
Died
Madison,
in
which is a
96.
dope town.
Like super
by the way.
famous for
So-
7 years.
So getting back,
Okay, so John Candy though.
Fish on Film put out an interesting thing, which was like, hey, Ween dedicated Chocolate and Cheese, which is probably, it was definitely the first Ween record that I loved. I loved that record too. I still love that record.
What songs are on that record? Can you give me like one or two?
Freedom of 76.
Okay.
Baby Bitch.
Excellent.
Many others.
Okay.
Great song.
There's some songs on there that are not, the HIV song is on there, or spinal meningitis. Actually, I think both of those songs are on that record. Anyway,
Wolf.
whatever. They dedicated that record to John Candy.
Did they really?
Yeah, and
Before he died, or was it made after he died?
no, that was made after
He died.
After he died, and
That's interesting.
and someone asked them, they're like, John Candy, and they were like, well, we dedicate one record to everyone. I'm sorry, we dedicate every record to someone. Stated better, and we chose John Candy because John Candy had died like a month before Kurt Cobain, and Kurt Cobain got all this attention,
And nobody paid
and
attention
no
to
one like
John.
John Candy didn't get nearly enough attention for his contributions to the world, and I thought that was classy.
Because Kurt, died so quickly after.
I thought it was classy. I was proud of
I got
Dean and Gene Ween.
I think that is very classy of them. And I would say, honestly, I think a lot, Kurt Cobain was in sort of a weird, that was a weird thing because he was so quick and so new on the scene compared to John Candy, obviously.
He was also like 4 years, same as Hendrix.
Well, he was also super young, and his cause of death or the question surrounding his cause of death was very different than John Candy. John Candy had a heart attack and died. That's sad, and it's not great.
Right. Like
But
Kurt Cobain,
Kurt Cobain's
there was
was
like
like-
immediate, did he, it was suicide with a shotgun. And then it was like, did Courtney Love do it? And then it was like all this chaos around it.
Well, and there's
Kurt
still
Loder didn't sleep for like a week.
well, and there's
Kurt
still
Loder's like
some,
90 now.
I
So like,
know.
just make you feel old.
I mean, there's still some like
I literally remember walking through the hallway. This is going to age me. Walking through the hallway in high school, and it be like Kurt Loder. They were showing it on MTV. They had the TVs changed to MTV.
When
so
Kurt
that you
Cobain
could
died?
see it. Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean it's still a huge question people are trying to figure out.
The Kurt
I mean,
situation?
How
yeah,
did he
no, I
die?
saw a couple weeks ago there was like a clip of a recorded phone line of a detective calling Courtney, asking her questions. It's like, okay, I mean, who knows, but
Nobody will ever know. But what I
questionable
will
for
say
sure.
is they were if they were
That's a
not,
weird
they
situa-
certainly
yeah, I
were
don't
at
know.
the time giving the appearance of being two people that were totally like getting fucked up a lot. So
Oh, no,
there's a
that
good
was-
chance you called Courtney Love at the wrong time, and she's not giving you great answers, but it's not because she's lying. It's
No,
because
she
she's
thinks
super
she's
fucked
on
up.
Saturn. Yeah.
Right.
There was a lot. She was in that movie, Larry Flint.
Oh, yes.
Something. It was.
The People versus Larry Flint.
Yes.
He is the guy that started Hustler magazine.
And Woody Harrelson played.
Larry Flint.
Larry
Great
Flint.
movie.
Okay.
Really good movie. Courtney Love is like the leading female in that movie. It happened after Kurt died. And I remember reading that there was like all sorts of insurance repercussions of hiring her to do that movie. They were like, yeah, if you're going to get her to do this movie, you need like way extra everything. And you need like people like looking over her to make sure that
Handlers.
I mean, there was like, I mean, I think she, thank God, I think she like straightened herself out and like
oh,
became
no.
like a.
What you see of her now on Instagram and stuff,
I
she
don't.
seems pretty like even-keeled.
I'm sure, yeah.
Didn't-
She's, but they were like going to take the kids away. Maybe they did take the kids away. Like there
there's
was
only one.
The
girl.
the daughter, right? What's her name?
Frances.
Bean. She's currently.
She's marrying Tony Hawk's son.
No, they are married.
Oh, they're married already. That's super
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep.
She also was quoted somewhere saying that she doesn't particularly like Nirvana's music.
Oh, well, good for her. She also fucked
Yeah.
up dramatically because she married another guy before Tony Hawk's son, apparently,
Oh, I don't
and
know.
gave him fucking Kurt's guitar. Oh my god!
Oh, yes.
And then tried to get it back
And he
after they
said
got
no.
divorced, and he was like,
Yeah.
no."
I-
I don't know where that one went, but
Maybe she doesn't really I could see saying like, oh, the music's not really for me, whatever. But I think it's probably hard to understand the levity of what that situation was like for at the time. Like their music, the grunge movement, Pearl Jam, Nirvana,
Stone Temple
Stone Temple
Pilots,
Pilots, Bush,
Soundgarden.
yeah,
I would not put.
Pearl
Is Bush
Jam.
in there?
Glycerine. I don't know. Stone Temple Pilots. Did we already
know.
say that?
I don't
Okay,
know.
so
Jam.
so
But my
it was.
point is that was like a big thing that happened in music for
Temple of the Dog.
our generation, and maybe she just doesn't recognize that, but
Hold on.
a lot of people do.
So
I can't believe she gave away her dad's guitar. Didn't
Hold
think that
on.
would be like a thing.
The guitar from the Unplugged.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like not
yeah.
the
Oh,
like.
Francis.
Frances
Really?
Bean Cobain
Oh, yeah.
agreed to give up the iconic acoustic guitar that her father, Kurt Cobain, played during the MTV Unplugged recordings in her divorce from Isaiah Silva. Silva claimed it was a wedding gift from Frances. So she gave it to him when they got married, and then it sounds like she tried to get it back when they got divorced, but
I'm not giving up on that one.
agreed to let him keep it.
She's got to have money.
Don't give it away.
I would
Why
have
would you
given
give
him-
that away in the
I would
first
have
place?
given him more
No.
money and said, "You're not keeping that fucking guitar. I'll give you."
Well,
Somebody look
How-
up.
how much
somebody
do you
look
buy
up,
it for?
Somebody
from?
look up Kurt
For?
Cobain's like
net worth.
annual income. No. How
Right
much
now?
Yeah, no. What's he making a year? Because I bet you it's
Well,
a pretty
and
big
she's
number.
got Courtney as her mom. Like she's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
fucking money.
No, I know.
I would have fought hard to keep that fucking guitar.
No, you just don't give it away because that's just silly.
No, you say as a
Yeah.
wedding gift, we're gonna hang this on our wall.
Yeah, no, but the thing is you just married his daughter. Like that, like cool.
That's enough.
Now I can put his, his guitar will be in my house. That's totally awesome. Like I like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
His estate was recent, as of April 5th, 2014, on
That
CNBC.
was
His
10 years
estate
ago.
was valued at $450 million.
Whoa,
Right, she's got money,
that's a lot. That's a $500 million.
Hold
dude.
on. Okay, so
That was 10 years
and
ago.
she's the only kid.
Yeah, that's
according to reports,
She doesn't have to
Frances
worry about
Bean
money.
inherited a reported $200 million when she turned 30 years old.
Courtney was smart to make it 30.
Previously, she had a monthly allowance of $100,000.
Well, that's
okay.
No, I'm just that's
that's
so that
control.
makes sense. Yeah.
I mean,
I'd love an allowance
If he's
of
worth
$100,000 a month.
$450 million, that means there's still cash in the bank. And if she was making
1.2 million cash. That's
100K.
2.4. You know, if that would be like making.
so how old was
2.4.
she when he died?
Like 2.
Oh,
yeah.
no, she
Okay.
was a
So
baby.
so 28. So
Hold on. If we just take this net worth equation, right, and say $100,000 a month for $450 million, and you take that ratio and say, okay, now Daddy doesn't have $450 million, he makes $100,000 a year.
A year.
That's
Month.
you multiply the estate value by 100,000, or you can make it 10x that is $1 million. But if the estate's worth 100,000, it's only $22 a month. If the estate was worth $1 million, it's a $200 allowance a month. So in terms of like relative,
You're saying percentage
Percentage
of
of estate,
Yeah,
she's getting 0.002% or whatever.
Right.
Per month.
Yeah, no, totally. And
well, yeah. The other, yeah.
well,
I mean,
what's
it's crazy.
What's
She was getting
7% of
yeah.
of half a billion?
She was getting
big number.
$100K for 28 years.
All you
or
have to do is
100K
spend
a
less
month
than
for
that, and
28
you're not
years.
doing anything.
So what's 28 times 12?
For what?
What's
You were
28?
both talking. What?
She was getting $100,000 a month for 28 years. If he died when she was 2, and she had a monthly allowance of
I'm
$100,000.
sorry. There is no fucking way that a 2-year-old is spending 100 G's a month.
No, I'm not saying that.
I don't
but
Right,
if
so
you
she
wa-
wasn't
but I'm
spending money
saying
till she
the
was 10.
maximum amount of money that
Right.
could be gone from the $450 million if Courtney didn't get any of it.
Right,
Courtney
but
got
money's
some of
also like
But
growing.
whatever. Yeah, and it's
whatever.
yeah.
Who knows how much money she's
We're
got?
getting,
She's got a
we're
shit
getting
ton
really
of money.
into it.
I would have given a lot of money away to
I think
keep
we
that
should not
guitar.
do math.
Right.
No.
Yeah, true.
I was
It
doing the
doesn't
quick
look good on any of us.
arithmetic to make it comparable, because you think about like, oh, it's you hear about all these rich people spending
I will
crazy
tell you,
amounts of money.
she
and
had
it's
the
like,
most beautiful blue eyes when she
if you
was
just-
little, just like her dad's. It was kind of crazy when they used to bring her out.
them baby
oh
blues.
goodness.
Them baby blues.
They did. They used to bring her out with them all the time.
Oh, beautiful. It was beautiful.
Well, they're superstars. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. They were a Sid and Nancy type of a couple, and questionable end to Kurt's life. And I hope that everything's okay on the home front over there.
Sweatpant
And
weddings.
Yeah, pajama pants, right?
Something.
I mean, I don't know if he
Sweatpant
wore
weddings.
pajamas to his wedding, but he definitely
The
wore
Grammys.
pajamas to like the MTV Awards and
Or
shit.
some
like,
shit. Yeah.
I got a quick hit. Anybody want like a quick hit? A little quickie?
A quickie.
We got like a sound tag, like a quick.
Bow. I don't know. That's for you. You
All
can
Quick
make that.
hit.
Quick hit.
This just in.
Quick hits.
29 years ago,
Okay.
the same girl. I'm not sure if this is a theory,
Okay.
but I actually think it was true. It was stated as fact where I read it. 29 years ago, the same girl gave all 3 dudes in Belle Biv DeVoe chlamydia,
Whoa.
Oh.
and they wrote a song.
Called.
That girl is
Poison.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what I read.
That's a
Poison.
great story. I like that, actually. I mean, I'm
Neat.
sad about the chlamydia,
I love
but
that.
I love the
That's a
story.
great story. It's so good.
Poison.
One girl gave all 3 of them chlamydia.
Poison. Poison.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It's so
Yeah,
good.
Macy.
That's so.
Get
Girl, I must warn you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
let's
good.
keep going.
That was a quick hit. Did you guys like that?
Quick hit. Yeah,
Pretty
no,
sick.
that was
Pretty
good.
sick. I have a segue, but it would be an awful segue. It would be just so.
Hop
it
on
would,
it, baby.
It would go
What
from
you
like
got?
cool to like super dark. But
Can
Do
we
it.
ke-
Do it,
would-
do it,
would
do
we
it, do it,
keep
do
it
it,
in the
do it.
podcast? or
probably.
would we
I don't.
cut
I
it?
don't know.
All right, let's go.
It's the origin of the first suicide hotline.
Oh.
It originated because one girl thought she had an STD. A 14-year-old girl
And didn't want to tell her parents.
got her period, and she had no one to talk to, and she thought she was like ill or something was wrong with her, and a doctor found out that she died because she had no one to talk to, and he opened a suicide hotline.
And one
It
day
was the
I'll
first
start,
one. I can't remember where. It was somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. One day I'll
French.
start a podcast all about how
wow.
it's
English.
bullshit that we don't have
don't
any
know.
sort of intelligence on the
We might
female
cut that,
health.
but
I got
being
something. I
distributed.
got
Well,
it. I
mean, I
got
also
That's a
like
different day.
just children in general don't really know what's going on sometimes. The
So-
first time Noah vomited.
you were like, my brother is dying.
No, I was no.
You weren't born.
I
the
was
first
not
time
born.
Noah
I just know this
vomited.
story.
What,
But I
the
think
very
Mom
first
should-
time I vomited?
The
I
first
think
time
Mom
you got
should
the
tell it.
stomach flu ever, you
Okay.
were
I don't know that I know what she's
I don't
gonna
know what
say,
she's
so
talking about either.
I do. I
kinda
remember
wanna-
this vividly.
It's weird that
Okay.
Mason knows.
This is a middle child
great.
memory for
This
sure.
This is great.
This
You don't
is like
remember
I,
that? You
I
wouldn't
remember
remember.
this.
Well, if
You
you
would
said
sort-
it,
okay.
Because
maybe
you were-
I'll remember, but I don't
So
remember.
here we go. I'm going to set the table a little. Jeremy and I were super young. Noah was about 20 months old. It was in the winter time before he turned 2. And Noah woke up one morning with the stomach flu. Noah woke up later in the morning. I had already gotten up in the morning with Jeremy and his dad, who were on their way out very early that morning to go and film as extras on the road to Perdition.
Oh yeah, my movie Stardom. When I
That's
when
correct,
I when
sir.
I was
Tom
acting
Hanks,
in a film
Paul Newman.
with Paul Newman and
A major motion picture.
my boy Playtone.
I have yet to see the screen grab of Dad in that movie, but
I'm not in the movie.
got
I got
cut.
cut.
Gramps is in the movie.
In the reading room.
They're in the scene where he walks in and everybody's reading the newspaper.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah, he's in there.
They were off being famous. And
Yeah,
awesome.
so they were
off being famous, and Noah wakes
Sorry,
up,
guys.
and
Do we need to stop?
he's
No, Coach is chewing. Okay, we're good now. Sorry.
No,
Coach is
this-
like
Chewing
chewing on the the leg.
underneath of the
Something.
table.
Cool. As long as it's
Sorry.
not a wire.
It's not
No,
It's not a wire. He was chewing on the
wood.
the most
Lovely.
recent doc was me.
He's a
Okay,
sweetheart.
so
so
Dad and
Jeremy
Gramps were off
and
chasing
Paul
stardom.
leave to
Mason,
go
you were
chase
not
their
alive.
stardom.
Let's have Mom tell the story.
Noah wakes up, and he's clearly like a little out of sorts. I'm not really sure what's up with him. I pick him up, get him out of his crib, bring him into bed with me to lay down for a little while, and all of a sudden he sits up and just fucking pukes all over the place, and then looks at me and goes, "I exploded." It was fantastic.
Damn right you did, man. Shit.
I exploded.
I exploded. It was great.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's
And so,
It is great.
All kinds of things like that. I feel like
You just
it's
don't
so like we have taken on so many layers of just like, oh well, of course that's how things are as an adult. Like you've learned all of the weird things, but like to picture something from a kid's perspective, to be like, yeah, your teeth are gonna just fall out of your head one day. Like there are like 50 different things that are like that are so like mind bendy as a little kid.
Totally mind bendy as a little kid, and I love that idea of thinking about that because it's like that wonder and that this, and then you get to the other side of it, and then we fall just as prey to like the other shit that it's like, no, like, you have to follow all these rules, and the rules are so ingrained in us that it's like bigger than law, right? It's like, no, like you have to go to school, like for, or like, I don't know if school's the right example, but like there's so many things that we are just like so accustomed to doing and are so culturally like driven into us that any deviation from that is like unfathomable.
yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if that made any sense.
Spitting wisdom.
But I'm serious. Like
I get you.
it's bizarre to me because
I get what you're saying,
So
but-
much of the shit, it's so ingrained in us that we're like we don't even like approach it. Like, should we change it? The education system is a perfect example of that. But it's
I
like
see where you're going.
I'm not going anywhere other than to say like it is like you must do this, and there are laws around them, or, and so on and so forth. But like, if we really wanted to, we could flip the side of the road that we drive on. Like, we could. Like, we made that shit up. We totally made it up.
I think a big part of it is also that it's like, this is the way things are because they have been this way. There's no like real approach to saying, okay, well, let's think
This is
about
the way it's always been.
Why are we doing it this way? And
Or
it's
how we
always
could
just
do- or how
this
we
is
could
the
do
way
better.
it's
Right.
always been. So we will
Like
continue doing
daylight
it that way.
savings time. Why are we still doing this? Could we just flip the clocks forward and leave it alone?
Right.
Why do we
Because
keep
it's some
flipping back?
antiquated, stupid reason. Just like the.
And they're like, oh, well, we don't want the kids to be outside in the dark before school starts. Okay, well, they are anyway. What is, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
It's dark
Some
when you
of it
get
is
picked
so-
up from the school by the school bus.
Right.
Well, it's
Well,
not dark when you get to school.
You can also argue when we talk about
Sometimes.
school, you can argue that school starts too early for kids. There's
Right.
science
There's
that
all
says that
kinds
kids
of-
should be starting later in the day. There's science that says they shouldn't be taking off a full summer, that they should be taking intermittent breaks throughout the year. There's science that says this, that, and the other. And then there's a whole other like practical matter, which is like they don't teach us anything that we actually need to know in order to be a successful contributor to school, to the world in school. They teach you all the shit to learn how to be a fucking sheep and line up in line
And work in a factory. Or whatever.
I know by default
Well,
that
but
12
that's
times
what-
12 is 144 and that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of a cell, but I can't do my own laundry. What the fuck, guys?
and I don't know how to change my oil, and I don't know how to balance a checkbook, and I don't know how to be wise financially speaking, and I don't know how to build
do my taxes.
do my taxes.
Balance a checkbook. Change
very
a tire.
Very simple stuff. So
Unclog a toilet.
it's not ideal. It's just not ideal. Could be better.
Yeah.
Life skills. There's not a lot of life skills happening
I
in
saw
the
someone.
school.
I saw
flip
someone
a
post
fuse.
on Reddit
Flip
really
a
quick.
fuse. Flip a fuse. I
You're-
saw someone
you're-
on Reddit the other day.
You're
Flip
going-
a fuse.
You're going right in the same direction. I saw some guy on Reddit who posts a picture of his whole like panel, his electrical panel,
In his
right?
house?
Yeah.
In his house, like
Yeah.
all the fuses, right? It's closed, and like a foot above that, like 1 inch off of dead center on the box, 1 inch away, maybe 2 inches away, he's got a little like circle marked out, and he says, he posts online. He's like, "Am I going to be in trouble if I drill in here to put a hole like?" He was going to drill straight into his power box. Like the box is mounted in the drywall, and literally a foot above it, an inch away from the center of the power lines. Like your power's coming in from above, man. That is literally
you got like
friend,
every line in your house is
like,
coming down that.
friend,
it was
you're
That
not gonna.
box isn't that
friend,
wide just for fun.
friend, no.
It was
no,
literally
no
to the point
fine
where I was
is
like-
gonna make it to you before they call time of death if you're drilling into the power box at all.
What did you say?
I said no fine is gonna make it to you. They
no
can't.
fine is gonna make
You
it to
can't
you.
get in
You
trouble.
ain't getting fined.
You can't get in
Fine
trouble
will
if you're
be
dead,
death.
buddy. It like
Yeah, no.
No.
My point
Oh,
was
I
like,
thought you were like
goodness gracious.
like the permit people are going to come and fine you.
No, I was saying if someone figures it out, like you're dead already. It doesn't matter.
it was
You can't
amazing.
get
And
in
then
trouble.
like 50 comments that were like, "Don't do this," and immediately
Do
like
not.
that you could
Like-
see like the post was 55 minutes old, and 53 minutes into it, he comments, he's like, "Thank you so much. I would have done it." I'm like,
Yeah, 2 minutes after he posted
So
it.
glad
yeah.
I asked.
Mother of God, tell us you didn't do it.
Yeah, dude, like respond, please. Yeah.
People, I
Yeah,
feel like
no.
there's a lot of the just general sensibilities that is missed out on, and the whole idea of like summer vacation is you can help on the farm. Daylight savings
Right.
is for the kids to help on the farm. We had a bell's schedule so that you could
Learn to
figure
work in
out
a
that
factory.
when the bell rings, you change your shift and you move from station to station, and we
Right.
can shift your focus every hour, and we can do it this way and be regimented, and
Yeah.
Thanks, Rockefeller.
yeah.
And then they
It's-
say
it's
that
cool.
you like the other one that always stuck out to me was
It's awesome.
they say that you forget like a crazy percentage of the shit you learned last year over the summer.
I'm
So-
sure.
So it's like,
Oh, absolutely.
oh yeah,
It's like
so
30%.
we're
or
gonna
something.
spend the first semester teaching you, reteaching you the shit that we taught you
The
last year.
first 6 weeks is like all review.
Right. So we're gonna the first half of the first semester we're gonna review and remember what we forgot over the summer. Then the second semester or the second half of the semester we're gonna teach you new shit. Then the first half of the next semester we're gonna teach you new shit. And then the second half of the semester we're gonna teach you shit that you're gonna forget, and then we're gonna
And
have
we'll
to
review.
review next year.
Right.
It's just silly.
Yeah, no, I like math class, especially. All the other classes, yeah, are pretty much like that, where it's like you just review to start the year, and then as it goes on, it's not review anymore, and it's new shit. Math, dude, math is arguably the worst. Every time, first semester specifically, I'm going based off of my pre-calculus memory because that's the class I remember the best. But literally first semester was every time we started a new unit, it was, okay, reteach what, like the like preamble
four
of it
steps.
from last year.
Totally.
And then figure it out, and then you move on. Second semester was more like, okay, now that we're back in the groove of it, but it's also like, cool, we've just had school off for 3 weeks. So, yeah, we're back in the swing of things, and we've relearned everything, but then I just had another 3 weeks to forget the last 2 weeks of stuff that I learned.
Totally. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, man.
How about a break?
I mean,
Sure.
Like us on Spotify. I'll come and fucking I'll Peter Tosh your ass if you don't.
I saw something on X today. X, the app platform formerly known as Twitter. Sorry, excuse me. So
FKA.
and it was just a video of a bunch of Czech farmers rolling into Prague in their tractors.
Oh, Czech. Like
Czech
the
Republic.
people.
Yeah, Czech
I
people.
believe they're now Czechia.
Yeah, but they're still
Czechia.
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 See,
Yeah. It's not like
I was about to spell it, and I backed out of that one.
formerly Czechoslovakia,
Okay.
then
So the-
Czech Republic
so the-
and Slovakia.
the
Now it's
Chechnya-
Czechia.
Not
So,
Chechnya.
but
Czechia.
But the people are still
Farmers.
referred to as Czech people. So
Okay,
that
right. The Czech people.
today, Czech farmers rolled into Prague in front of the government offices
Like on tractors?
in their tractors,
Okay.
rolling through town square
They're pissed.
Badass.
with their like scoops or whatever full of
Shit.
manure and hay, and went and dumped all of this shit on the fucking front step of the government building because the EU's putting in a bunch of restrictions. It's called the Green Deal, but so there's a lot of restrictions being put on the farmers throughout the EU, and those same restrictions are not, apparently, from my understanding, not being put on the farmers in Ukraine due to the ongoing conflict there. So the rest of the EU farmers are like, hey, what the hell? The customs aren't being, or the
Upheld
customs
for
duties aren't being
everyone.
upheld for the Ukrainians. What the
Why
hell?
do the rest of us have to follow it?
Exactly. So they're getting boned and losing money, and they're pissed about it, and their governments aren't doing anything about it. So they're
So
all
they dumped a bunch
protesting.
of shit in front
So
of the building.
yeah, that's what happened in Czech. Polish farmers on Wednesday, 2 days ago, protested outside the prime minister. Like, a lot of people are doing stuff. There's protests happening everywhere.
So the farmers are up in arms.
The farmers in
And what do
the
they
EU
do when
are
they're
mad.
angry? They
Dump
dump shit on
manure.
the
Yeah.
Capitol building
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
At the
Dump
government
hay
center.
on the Capitol building and light it on fire. Speaking of, I was driving to Iowa this past weekend, and I witnessed the single largest fire I have ever seen in my entire life. It was not an uncontrolled fire. It didn't look like it was accidental. I was worried at first because it was, clearly just,
Fields of burning.
well, it was like probably a half mile off of the highway, and I could see the smoke from like 15 miles away, and I could smell it from 5 miles away. So I was like, what the hell's going on? And then as I was driving past it, I was like, oh, must have been like a barn burning or someone burning their like dead sticks pile or whatever. But yeah, man, Iowa. I saw 2 fires. The second one was not nearly as notable, but
Did you know that Matt LeBlanc went to high school with Louis C.K.?
at the same time
Wow.
or just the same high school? Are they the same? They could be the.
They're not the same. Oh, they could be the
They
same
could be the
age.
same age.
Are we just throwing random fun facts? I got one.
Louis C.K.
Dad's
wasn't
regrouping
on
the
Friends
conversation.
ever, was
Okay,
he?
cool.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe he was. I don't know.
No, I was thinking he was the guy that played Phoebe's cop boyfriend, but that was definitely not
No.
Louis C.K. Definitely
I don't
not
know.
Louis C.K.
I have a Teddy Roosevelt fact. Are you ready?
What do you got?
Teddy. Good old Teddy.
Does it have to do with his stash?
No.
How about when he
No.
got shot? He said it takes.
This
more
is how
than
many
that to
good
take
fun
down
facts
a
he's
bull
got.
moose.
He's got a lot.
He's got a lot, so let's not try and just guess.
Do you know that
because
he
it
was
has to
in
do
that
with
movie?
Yeah, let's keep
Theodore
guessing.
Roosevelt, like the actual person, was in a movie?
Night
Yeah.
at the Night at the
Night-
The
Museum.
Night of the Museum.
That museum, that movie's
What are we
fucking
doing?
amazing.
What are we doing here? spreading misinformation.
Rest
No.
in peace, Robin Williams.
Amen.
No, so my Teddy Roosevelt fact is the first ever. I can't remember if she held what title it was. She was a black woman postmaster. She was in charge of a whole post office at some point during Roosevelt's presidency, and she was ousted or fired, or in some way she was removed from her office by her constituents on the basis of, something to do with the fact that she was either a woman or that she was a black woman or something to that effect. And Teddy Roosevelt heard word of this, and he continued to pay her salary out of his own money. He sent her money to continue her salary while she was away, and he ordered the U.S. postal system to route that entire town's mail like 300 miles away until they gave her job back. It was just...
Dude, that's a cool thing to do if you're the president.
When you're the president, you got cool stuff like that.
But you should be, that's what they should be doing. We don't need to go there, but
No, we shouldn't. They should be good people that try and do good things for people.
right. That's dope. Go Teddy. Theodore.
He was, top 10 president for sure.
Teddy?
Yeah?
Yeah, national parks alone. Game over.
Was that Teddy or was that Franklin?
No, that was Teddy.
That was Teddy.
Franklin
Teddy was
the
like
New
the
Deal.
naturalist. Teddy was the naturalist.
The
Teddy
first
was the
one.
dude that hung out
Franklin
with, like,
is
Franklin is like the reason that
John
the
Muir.
roads in Wilmette are paved with bricks because
But
he was like,
Franklin
we
was
need
the
jobs.
nephew
So
of Teddy, is that correct?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
the New
Do
Deal.
you feel like you have enough of a grasp on history to, like, have a real opinion? Like, you really think that you should be ranking, like, presidents?
He does, I bet.
Do you? That's an honest
He
question.
has a lot
I'm
of
not-
historical knowledge.
I know he does. You know your history. You know it a lot better than I do.
in some ways.
So yeah.
I guess
Well, no, I was saying in some ways I know I know it.
You know about the
better
history
than-
that you
it
like,
better,
yeah.
quote unquote, it better than you do.
I would say I don't know enough about each president to say that.
I mean, like, I know
There's several presidents I know nothing about.
I know, no, exactly. Me too. I know nothing about Grover Cleveland or about Chester A. Arthur, besides that he had some sick sideburns, mutton chops, whatever you want to call them.
Fatty.
They
It
were
was
dope.
actually the sideburns,
The stash,
sideburns
sideburn combo.
into the stash, but no goatee.
Nobody talks about Abe's like
Pimpin'.
Abe's like
Fatty
yes,
goatee?
No.
No stash, though.
no stash.
Well, I mean, it's like the kind of the. I mean,
Abe.
I don't know, a little bit of
Just
an Amish
It's a
look.
weird look if you see it.
And not
We're
a
all
full
aware
beard,
that
just hair.
Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, correct?
No?
Yes,
What?
Wrestling Hall of Fame. I believe he was
of Illinois,
No, of like the Wrestling Federation. He is
it's
in the
Illinois'.
Wrestling Hall of Fame.
he's in the WWE.
No, the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He went like,
Like
I
national?
like just his name and it's not actually Abraham Lincoln. Or
no
what?
Abraham. I can look it
The
up
real
right now.
Abraham Lincoln?
Really?
Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I don't doubt it. I was just imagining it was like a pseudonym kind of thing. I heard a crazy one with that recently. Apparently, like before anyone knew the name Tom Brady, and it wasn't like a big deal, Terry Bradshaw went in for surgery, and he used a fake name at the hospital, and he used the name Tom Brady. And it was like in 1986 or something. It was like,
Well, because
just
TV
coincident.
probably.
yeah,
That makes sense.
maybe, yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know.
Dude, I saw. I love.
So Abraham Lincoln is the only president of the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He was officially recognized by the National Wrestling Hall of Fame as an outstanding American in the sport in 1992. So he is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
In what
Okay, well,
context?
that
Like
is
he-
a little different.
do
than what
remember,
I
like-
thought
No,
we
he
were
like
talking
he's like one of the fun facts about him is that he like had a professional wrestling career. I think
wrestled?
he
Or,
I
like,
think he
was
went
he-
like 13-0 or something. He didn't like
Gotcha.
have a real wrestling career, but nobody had a real wrestling career in
Sure.
the whatever.
Not to get like super weird, but I was originally thinking you were going to go the direction. I remember hearing that like at our old like middle school and a bunch of, I guess it was just commonplace throughout like, the 40s, 30s, 50s, that era, probably mellowing out sometime in the 50s, that people like would go to events at schools and other places where like young boys would be put up to box, and like, you know, you can bet on it. You're drinking there, you're smoking, and it's like just, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old boys boxing.
I can
like,
tell
I
you
mean,
that
that
I
part of
never,
makes-
I don't know. I've never heard any of our parents talk about that.
Yeah.
So I would guess it was probably over by the 40s.
It's
I don't know.
Maybe 50s.
I was kind of
But
thinking
honestly-
maybe that Lincoln
Coach,
maybe
come
like
here.
was instrumental in making the sport bigger or something. What, Coach just causing mayhem?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Coach
he's
is
like
wreaking havoc.
under the table, pulling on cords, knocking things around,
Classic.
Wants attention.
trying to like gnaw on my hand.
Yeah, I got some good Coach footage.
Beat
Yeah,
up
but
puppy.
Coach Cam.
I will say the that the kids like boxing and stuff. That I mean it. That's crazy, but it also doesn't seem that far off considering like the Olympics originally was a completely it was amateur. It was a complete amateur event. Like you weren't allowed to be a professional athlete and compete in the Olympics. There was actually like controversy surrounding Jim Thorpe because he ran and
Without shoes.
won the decathlon and he won he medaled in like 4 different events in one of the Olympics. I think in the 20s. I think it was the 1918 Olympics actually. But they tried to strip him of his medals because he was playing professional football or at the time, and then I think the NFL, like the early NFL Players Association, actually vouched for him and was like, "That's wrong. He wasn't a professional track athlete. He was a professional football player. It's not the same thing." And then he ended up getting to keep his medals. But the kids boxing thing lines up kind of considering the Olympics were an amateur event like that. It's crazy, but it doesn't seem super duper far off.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. I don't know how we got here. We were talking about
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, Wrestling Hall of Fame, coolest presidents or top 10 presidents.
yeah.
Which came from your Teddy Roosevelt.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You know, Teddy once got shot in the chest, and the booklet with a script or for a speech saved him from
I did
the
hear
bullet
that one.
lodging. You know.
There's a lot of those stories when you go back
nuts.
in time. Like Secret Service wasn't the same as it is today. If you're lucky enough to get it when you're running for president, unlike one
Certain
person.
candidates that are running currently.
I may be wrong here, but I think that Lincoln was like the
Proponent.
the
or
like
reason the
first
Secret
like
Service-
step up of like
What was it? What part? What happened?
the part where he got shot in a theater and nobody was there to protect him because
Yeah.
they weren't thinking about presidents getting assassinated until he got assassinated. So I think that was like the initial spur for the Secret Service.
Wow.
Or at least a
Just a
spur
lawyer
to
from
like
Illinois.
step it up. A wrestler.
We
from
really took
Illinois.
him, didn't he? I think he was born
He
in
was born in
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Born in
baby.
Kentucky.
Yeah, he's not even
He's
from
ours,
here.
Oh yeah, no, we've claimed
I mean, we're the
that
land
shit
of-
like
Land of Lincoln. He
nobody's business.
We got his,
Oh, of
he's
course.
on the license plate.
I'm not.
I mean, I do
knocking
think
it,
he
but,
moved
you
here
know.
when he was like a
a
child.
boy.
Yeah,
A
like
wrestling
boy.
a wrestling boy.
6 to 9, somewhere in there.
Let me ask you, what years was around? What year was Lincoln the president?
1860s.
I was-
Yeah.
1864.
I think 1864
Well,
to 1866.
We should know when the Civil War is,
18
guys.
I was trying to think. There's a who is it? Douglas, I think was his
predecessor.
No, the election
Was
was
between
against
him and Kennedy.
1861 to
Stephen
1865.
Douglas? Stephen Douglas, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there were some
I think-
heated debates, and there was actually some attempted murder. I think at one of those debates.
There's some crazy
So
nuts.
just-
So his he was elected. He began serving as president March 4th, 1861, which means he was before they changed the inauguration date. And then he died April 15th, 1865. So he was elected to a second term, but he died
A minute in.
a month and 10 days or
And
something
then who took over?
in. And then I don't know who was his
17th
vice
president?
president.
You're the one with the computer.
I know.
Mike.
I'm working on it. I'll look it up.
I'm more curious. Well,
I'm trying to remember.
if I remember correctly, like from what we watched of the early
was it like Andrew Johnson?
years.
Andrew Johnson.
Nice
December
job.
20.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Yes.
Was that his VP?
Hype.
Served as the 17th president of the United States from 1865 to 1869. Assumed the presidency following the assassination of Abraham Lincoln,
Okay.
Damn, you got
as
a
he
full
was
fold.
vice president at
Hell
that time,
yeah.
baby. But so that means that he did not get elected again.
No.
Okay, so
okay.
did Andrew
I was right.
Johnson
That's all that's
serve?
important.
Or I'm sorry, did Andrew Johnson run under the same party as Lincoln? Because I
Yeah.
know in the beginning it was whoever
So-
loses is the VP.
So that changed with Jefferson, who was the third president. So
That's what I
Washington won
And
pretty
Adams
much.
was
Washington
his.
won like hands down, whatever. And then I think he actually served. He was the one who was like
2 is enough.
2 terms, 8 years. I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm going back home. And then who was the second? James Madison.
John Adams.
John Adams. John Adams was the president, and then Jefferson won, and Adams was the runner-up, right?
I can't recall who how it
Or
was
maybe.
arranged.
Oh no!
John
no!
Adams
No!
is
No!
VP for
Jefferson
George-
won,
for
and
Washington.
Jefferson won, and Aaron Burr, the guy who killed Alexander Hamilton, was the runner-up. So he would have been the vice president, but they as soon as Jefferson was elected, he changed the law, and then I think that Madison was his vice president because he changed the law. So that the vice president being the losing
Loser.
party only lasted for the first 2 presidencies.
I almost wonder if that would have been better
I mean,
because I feel like it would have pushed for a more
Yeah, except
bipartisan
Then
situation.
the vice president
but-
is always down for the president
Well,
to die.
I mean, like if you
That's
look
true.
back at if you look at George Washington's farewell speech, he literally warns us about 3 things, and it's, hey, everybody, stay unified, don't form parties. He warned us against the quote is bipartisan fighting, don't form parties and fight each other politically, and then he said stay out of foreign affairs. So we really like crashed and
ignored
burned,
all of his shit.
completely ignorant to those statements.
and it's gone so well for us.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean.
So you think who's your top 10, Mace? Let's hear them all.
No, let's
No,
Oh,
we're not
God.
doing
the
this.
fuck on.
We're not doing this. We cannot do top 10 presidents.
All right. Well, I wanted a quick fact. I laid it down.
You want a quick
Wait.
fact? We could do some pontoon trivia.
All right.
Y'all want some pontoon trivia, Dad?
Pontoon trivia. Who isn't down for pontoon trivia?
All right. So
Can
we're
you
all
explain
down.
pontoon trivia just in case anybody that's
I can do it.
listening
I can handle
doesn't
this.
know what we're doing?
So pontoon trivia, emphasis on the tune and trivia. This is a little segment where I give my fellow family members 3 hints about a song, and I will not tell them who wrote the song or who released the song.
You're going to give us trivia.
But I'm going to give you trivia about the song, and you got
You're
to
going to
guess
give
the
us
song.
3 questions. We're going to
Okay.
have to guess the song.
For the
and
record,
you embarrassed us last week,
last time he
and it
kicked
was
our
bullshit.
This one,
And I still feel like
A little
I still
bitter.
have a hard time looking at myself in the mirror for not getting, what was it? All you need is love.
All You Need Is
Are you
Love.
kidding me?
okay, so
ass. So this week I'm starting with the man in the
Better
mirror.
fucking
No.
guess this
kidding.
one. If you guys,
all right,
if
this
we don't
week's
get
pontoon
this,
trivia.
Yep.
All right, you
we're
ready?
not doing any
I'm
more
gonna one
pontoon
fact
trivia.
it. I want to one fact it.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
want pick the. How many notes does it take? I hear like
No, this one. Okay, so
We're
the
ready.
first
The
one,
detectives.
the first these hints get more telling as they go on.
Okay.
So the first hint is that this track contains sampled drums, which are so seamlessly intertwined in the track that I, before doing some research on this track, didn't realize that it was a sampled drum track. Now that I know it's a sampled drum track, it makes sense.
Okay, but that's
But I didn't think about
that
it.
limits it to like every song that's got drums. So we need another one.
There's no.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
like-
would like it if the first fact is something where I could guess the song.
Hey, wait, we can't guess the song on
Straight
that.
off.
Like
That's like-
the song's
that's
got
like-
drums that are sampled, and the sample is so dope that you don't
wouldn't
even know.
If you
it's
said
not
what
real.
Any
sample,
song with
if you-
drums
do
is
you know
on-
what sample it is? Like
I know what sample it is. I can tell you what sample it is.
My problem, my only issue is
I can
that
play
that-
you the sample. I have it pulled up.
No,
Would
no,
you like
no,
me to
I don't
play
want to
you
hear the sample. My
little
point
bit?
is that if I had a critique of how things are going so far, It would be that the first hint was like this song starts with the letter D, and it's like there's no way I could ever just have with only that information a good chance at guessing the song. I'd like
so the
a
two
shot to be able to pull it off.
The two
after
songs
first
that are
guess.
sampled on the track are Black Grass by Bad Bascom and High Low by Curtis Knight.
Oh my God, both of which are family favorites, and we know inside now.
Exactly.
Next.
Okay,
Next
Great.
question.
the band that released this is a Scottish band. It was released as part of their first album in 1998.
Oh, fuck. 98. Shit.
So who are we talking? Flogging Molly?
No, that's
Is that Flogging Molly?
No.
Is this
that's
something
not.
I would know?
Every single one of you know this song.
Oh,
For sure.
Oh, it's the song.
They're-
Is it the
they
song?
might
from
be-
the,
walk
No, it's not the
500
Proclaimers.
Is it the song
You
from
might-
the Blackhawks?
That's
No,
what
that's
that
what
is.
Dad was. That's the Fratellis.
The Fratellis.
Sorry.
Scottish
They're like
band.
a little bit They're kind of a one-hit wonder. I think they're a one-hit wonder, but you might be like, no, I know the whole album and it's great. But
Okay, we're gonna go to
1998.
1998.
Okay,
first album.
okay.
It's not named after the band.
The Cranberries.
No,
Okay, not the fucking Cranberries.
they're Irish.
Irish.
I don't even know who's Scottish. That's terrible to
don't-
say. I
yeah,
don't.
I can't.
Like in my head, I'm like Shane McGowan, Irish.
It's
Sinead
like
O'Connor.
I did know
Irish.
that they were Scottish beforehand, but
Did or did not?
I did know that they were Scottish beforehand, but I don't know for sure that you all would know.
It's probably Simon and
Would have
Garfunkel, right?
No.
Okay, so we've burned two, and we have no fucking idea what we're talking about here.
Damn it,
The
Mason.
third one is
Scottish
gonna.
band-
The
Scot-
third one should give it to you.
Scottish band, what? 98.
1998,
Scottish band, 98 with drums.
first album.
Cool. All right.
Okay,
what's
first, what records? You and I were dating. Noah was not born. What records came out that year that you were at all excited about? The White Stripes came out that year.
Scotland.
Oh, that other band that was sort of like the White Stripes that never went anywhere really. What came out? They had like a one record. They were really good. I liked them actually a lot.
The Strokes.
Yes.
they never
they
went
had
anywhere.
more than one record.
Never went anywhere. Yeah,
Are you
no,
kidding?
Never.
Fuck you all. I don't know.
I don't know
They
what
didn't
line
go,
of
like,
thinking
to the
we're
White
going at.
Stripes level.
I don't know. I literally don't think I could name a band from Scotland confidently that it's like, oh yes, this band has a Scottish identity right now.
Is
I
it
don't know.
Natalie Imbruglia?
It's not.
Can you with confidence be like, yeah, this band's totally like Scottish through and through?
I think the Cranberries were.
I
They're
don't think
Irish.
so. Irish.
It's a very laid back song.
I
So,
don't
like,
think you're
not
allowed
like
to
the
do
White
this
Stripes or
anymore.
anything.
Like, what the fuck?
You're
man?
fucking undressing the three of us weekly. You're like, oh, music.
Is
got
it Sugar Ray?
Right. Yeah. Is it Busta Rhymes?
All right. Do you want to hear the third one? Because the third
Well,
one
yeah,
is gonna
because
give it
we
to you.
don't have any fucking clue based on the
Yeah.
first two shitty
Oh,
clues
you know
you
that
gave us.
Scottish band, the
drums
Smashing
and
Pumpkins?
Scotland.
What you got? What you got, buddy?
Go.
There is a scene dedicated to this song in the 2000 comedy film High Fidelity, starring John Cusack, Jack Black,
Dry your
Lisa
eye.
Bonet.
Dry.
Beta band?
Yeah, beta band.
The
Dry,
Beta Band.
Dry your tears.
Dry in the
Dry
the
the
rain. Dry the rain.
Dry the
Dry
rain.
the rain. They're
Of course,
Scottish.
that's sampled drums, Mace. Of course, it's sampled
I didn't
drums.
know the
Those are
Beta
sampled
Band
drums.
was a
I
Scottish
didn't know it was
band.
When
sampled
you
drums.
said I didn't know there were sampled drums, I removed all the sampled drums from my fucking brain.
That's the problem. Yep.
Damn it.
It's just like when he called
Dry
the
the
Beatles
rain.
song a fast Beatles song, and I was like, no way, no way.
The
I don't call it
exact
a
quote
fast song.
is Rob, John Cusack's character, looks at Dick,
Do you want to sell
his
I will now sell.
employee, and says, I will now sell 5 copies of the 3 EPs by the Beta Band. And then plays
Dude,
this song.
I'm telling you, that
I
is
would-
a
I would have
fucking
guessed they were
great
from, like,
movie.
Minnesota.
If you haven't
Scene.
seen that movie, please watch High Fidelity.
Oh my gosh.
Chicago.
If you like music at all, or Chicago,
Or Jack
or
Black.
Jack Black,
Or John Cusack.
Or
or
Lisa
Joan
Bonet.
Cusack,
Or Joan Cusack.
Or Lisa Bonet. She's a looker.
Or
great,
who's
great,
the-
great, great movie.
I don't know what the girlfriend's name is, but she's great too.
I will say it is great that Lisa Bonet is the woman, the like, kind of the main chick in that movie, and then
She's 100% not. Just so we're
She's
clear.
listed when you look up the credits. She's listed before Laura is in
Well,
the
yeah,
credits.
because she's a bigger name, but she wasn't a
great-
bigger role
Fair
in the
enough.
movie.
Great
But whatever.
soundtrack.
It's great to me
Oh
that
my
Lisa
God.
Bonet is in that movie, and then when they did the reboot of High Fidelity and turned it into a TV show, Zoe Kravitz is the main character.
Her daughter.
Her daughter.
So,
Zoe Kravitz is amazing.
you guys know I saw the Beta Band, right?
No? Wait, we were young. I do remember you
You're
going.
funny because you remember so many things and then you just forget shit that's like blatantly.
I didn't go. That's why
That's clearly really important.
Right.
I can't remember it if she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
saw-
remember you went.
I saw that. I saw the Beta Band at Hutchinson's Field in Chicago, which is basically where Northerly Island is.
yeah.
No, that was Meigs Field.
That was Meigs
That
Field.
was
for
Meigs
sure.
I know Hutchinson Field was like
Was it part of the same area?
it was all over there. Yeah, and it was like they literally had like where like the softball fields and stuff were over there. This is all before Northerly Island was there, right?
Right. So
The
a little
bulldozers.
backstory in case you're not from Chicago or weren't born before the year 2000. There used to be a sweet little airfield that was right on the Lake Michigan.
Airport.
A little, private plane area for people flying in and out of downtown Chicago. And then all of a sudden one night in 1998, the mayor at the time, Richard Daly Jr., on a Sunday night at about 9:30 maybe, sent a bunch of bulldozers or something.
Bulldozers, yeah.
They destroyed it.
He had
Fucking
been trying,
leveled it.
He had been trying to.
Oh no, jackhammers.
He had been trying
it was
to.
machines. We watched it on the news.
He had been trying to push it through, and he had been trying to push it through, and he had tried and tried and tried, and
Destroying
he just
it. He
kept
wanted to rip it down.
asking the people for permission, essentially, and
They kept
he
saying
got fed
no.
up. So one night we're watching the nightly news, like the,
Sunday night, literally.
whatever, and it's like the 10 o'clock news, and we're watching the news, and there is our
They
X's.
break in.
bulldozers
X's, right?
going down Lakeshore Drive, and then there's no
They're
one
like,
else
it's
out there.
breaking
It's very-
news. We're not really sure what's happening. I mean, it was
there are
Mayor
10
Daly's
PM
running
on
a covert
Sunday.
op
There's
right
a
now
team
with the,
of- there's
the
like-
local union
and they drive out and they put X's in the airfield and in the runway.
runways.
And
Yeah.
so, but this is like, think about that. Like so first of all, the people whose planes were there
we're so fucked.
stranded.
stuck.
Right, the X's were like
And
like
whose
dug
planes were
out.
there?
It wasn't like it wasn't.
Whose planes
paint.
were there?
All
high
the fucking
rollers.
rich people and
All
politicians.
All the
from
private.
high
city, yeah.
rollers.
It's all private. It's like unbelievable. So yeah, he did that. It was a ballsy move. I've never seen anything like it. It was so freaking like. It's
So
funny.
Chicago though.
It's funny when
Yeah, we do what the fuck we want.
I'm 47 and it's funny when you look back and like whenever it's current and you're in the present, you're like you look back at history and all these cool things that have happened and you're like at least I am. It's like, wow. Like it would have been so cool to be at this place at this time. Like think of like the Haight-Ashbury in the 60s. Like, oh my
Woodstock.
gosh. Like there was a revolution going on. Like there was this amazing thing happening. And then I look back now and I'm like, wow, like grunge is a thing like that. And there's been several other things like that. Like Jack White coming along and creating
Rap.
that sound. Rap, I mean hip hop turned 50 this past year. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
23, I
Right,
believe.
like
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
you were trying to say that Jack White was rap, and
No.
I got very
No,
confused.
I'm just saying
for a
like rap
second.
is something
No.
that's our generation. Like
No,
but
our
no,
parents
absolutely.
have no
Beastie Boys came
appreciation
out.
for that.
Absolutely.
Right. And so that was a thing. And it was all like, oh, this is a thing that's going on right now. And I never would have, like, I didn't have the, like, presence of mind to be like, no, that was a thing that is, like, in history books of people like us, right? That
Oh,
pay
for
attention to
sure.
alt history or whatever, So, yeah, that day, though, was a thing. Mayor Daly.
That was so.
Mayor Daly, who's got like the history, he's got the
Dude.
historic name. His dad.
His father was
His
the.
dad was the guy
of
when
Chicago
the
for
Democratic
400 years.
convention was in Chicago and the shit hit the fan. the movie,
Senior.
the
Dick
movie-
Daly Senior.
the movie that came out, the Lucky Seven or whatever that was called. The
The Chicago Seven.
The Chicago
Seven.
The trial.
He was in
of the
trial.
Chicago
about
Trial
the trial of those
Chicago
guys,
Seven,
and they
yeah.
put they
Dude,
literally
his dad was like not
and
a
he's
clean
the
man, and
namesake
he
of
had a lot
Daly
of weird
Plaza.
connections
right,
too.
but the head of the Black Panthers was like on trial, and he wasn't even in Chicago when it happened. Like all that was his dad. He's pulling this gangster move and like, fuck this. I said I wanted this thing to turn into a park.
I gotta tell
And
you,
I
for
am
honest
sending the
to God,
goddamn bulldozers down the street right now, Lakeshore Drive at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. I'm putting fucking X's
It's
in
the
the runway,
craziest-
and this is not an airport anymore. You're not fucking listening.
No.
And,
This
It's,
is
it's
gonna
the
be-
craziest thing. It's like Al Capone was here, and then like the gangster mentality never left Chicago. Like since then, I feel like we've had look at the Wirtz family who owns the Blackhawks. Do you think it's a coincidence that they run Benny's commercials every 35 seconds?
They run liquor
distribution.
Right.
That's how they have
Oh,
their
yeah.
money. I'm not saying
well-
they're still dirty, but they were not clean during the Prohibition for
you don't
sure.
know anything about that.
Exactly. But it's no.
You don't know anything about that.
No,
Correct.
And there's a sound bite.
You don't. You don't.
No,
we don't
it's
know.
like-
We know that that's like it's like
It's a
like
thing. But what I was
garbage
going to
disposal.
say,
There's a weird part where like there's 5 super rich liquor distributors from Chicago
Right.
that have
I don't think there
got
are.
big in the fucking
what I
20s.
was going to say was
there's less than
there
that.
were a few times when you and I were young and either not living together but hanging out at your dad's all the time or living together at your dad's.
Yep.
There were a few occasions where the news really, really got your dad going. And that night was one of them. Your dad sat there watching Daly destroy those fields like a kid opening Christmas presents. Like just, and not because he was like such a proponent of Daly's or because he like valiantly believed in what he was doing, more because he loved the political turmoil that he knew was going to come out of the
he
situation.
knew that something was happening. So anyway, Chicago, Hutchinson Field.
What year was it?
I don't know. It was
97?
you know what it
98?
was? Like to be honest, that Beta Band show, I think it was Beta Band, Kid Koala, and they were all opening for Radiohead. Yeah,
That's
fuck
badass.
you all. And it
I
was the
remember
Kid
that
A
night.
tour. So
God damn
you know.
it.
I
That
think
was 98.
I think Amnesiac had already come out. I think
That might have been 2000, actually.
Amnesiac's after Kid A.
I know. I think
Kid-
that it was a Kid A tour. Amnesiac was almost
Like almost a double disc. It came
it was
out
almost
very
a double
quickly
disc.
after
It
Kid
came
A.
super quick after Kid A. And then actually they came out with a third one, which was like the Amnesiac outtakes, I believe, right after that.
Those
I actually
records
have
are
some
so
cool
good.
stuff that I bought on eBay around that time. Some cool like Kid A swag that might be interesting to share.
Those records were so good.
Yeah, they were great. So that's where I saw Beta Band, and I saw Beta Band played, and of course they played "Dry the Rain," and it was amazing.
Cool.
It was so good.
Good deep dive,
Wow.
Mace. It'd be
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
if you
man.
could come
It's
up
not a
with some
deep dive,
clues
it's
that
a
were not like,
pontoon trivia.
murder.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Pontoon trivia.
Come on,
My
Mom.
bad. Good
Missed
pontoon
nowhere.
trivia, Mace.
Sick.
I try.
If you could try and not murder us with terrible.
Do you have one of your things today or no?
I do.
Okay, so before you go there, I think that we should get there very soon, but I'd like to introduce one more piece, a little tidbit. There's one. I've been keeping like a little list of things that are interesting to talk about, or at least interesting to me.
Okay.
And I actually have two that I really would like to talk about. But my boy Cody Tucker, my cool dude with the bandana, who you guys should all follow him on Instagram because he's good. He's the well, whatever. We've talked about him before. He's great. Today he had one that was interesting. So there's this dude. His name is Adolf Sax. He was born in 1814 in Belgium.
The inventor of the saxophone.
He is the inventor of the saxophone. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I appreciate that.
Drop it
There's
like
actually
it's
more
hot.
to there's a bit of his life that is super weird that I'm not sure that anyone is aware of because I certainly wasn't.
Sick.
But
Okay.
Well,
Can I ask a quick question?
Did
Is
Kenny
his last
G-
name spelled S-A-X?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was all audio, but
Oh, okay.
what I learned about Adolphe Sax, who was born in 1814 in Belgium, was that as a child he fell out of a window and like slammed into the ground and like got completely fucked up.
That's probably one of those baby cages you used to hang kids out the window with.
Then a little bit later in his life, he was walking down the street and got hit in the head with the fucking brick.
Oh my God.
Years later, he had to go and was hospitalized because he had inadvertently swallowed a needle.
How do you accidentally swallow a needle?
Not sure, but then years later, he drank a near lethal dose of acid.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
Living on the edge.
Later, he fell on a hot stove and burned the shit out of himself.
Oh my God.
After that,
He invented the saxophone.
he went for a swim and came woefully close to dying. And last but not least, was involved in a gunpowder explosion. So this dude,
He lived to 99
this dude
years
was
old.
defying death his whole life.
This man should never play poker.
And meanwhile, behind the scenes, is inventing the saxophone. Kind of interesting, huh?
Neat.
Imagine inventing an instrument.
That sounds like a deal with the devil. That sounds like a crossroads
So
thing.
one of
Like,
those 18
yeah.
different events could have prevented us from having the
Yeah,
saxophone.
we're gonna put you. You're gonna be famous for the rest of your life. You're gonna go down in the history books. You're gonna invent this instrument that that is gonna be like Clarence Clemens is gonna be thanking the lucky stars that you existed. But in return, we're gonna just fuck you up through your whole life. We're gonna just throw every single hardcore injury at your way. Like, holy cow, right? Pretty wild.
I mean, it's super wild, but I have to tell you, in my head, as you're talking about all of this, and this is just how my brain works, and I know your brains work differently than mine. You guys are very capable of looking at something and being like, oh, if you did this or did that or tweaked this or tweaked that, it could be different and better and whatever. You guys are great at that. I am not so much. But to me, I have to tell you that it's kind of insane that a person that was born in 1814 at some point in his life was like, hey, you know what? If I took some metal and I bent it the right way and I created the right curves.
There was a model. There had to have been a model. I bet you that kazoo was born before that.
The clarinet is
Or the
probably
clarinet.
the closest
Something.
Clarinet
relative.
is wood, is it not?
It
Yeah, but
is
it's
a
the
wood-
closest relative, I
Well-
would
Yeah.
assume. That
So there was
existed
a
beforehand.
sister.
But
or a
but
brother
at some point
to
there
the
was a
saxophone.
clarinet. There was something to begin with where somebody was like, hey, if I
All-
took this thing and
All
I
it took
added
was
some...
getting hit by a brick and on the street.
He was like,
It's
doink.
just kind of crazy. That's all I'm saying.
brass.
Fatter.
Fatter at the bottom, skinny at the top.
I will say, there's the
It's remarkable. Some of the things that have been invented that we take for granted, like so many things we've talked about tonight, there are so many things that are just innate in us, that are just part of our life, that are just part of what we are.
Yeah.
But think
Somebody
about
did it.
as far as things,
Somebody did it.
somebody decided at one point they were going to build a guitar.
Yes.
And look at what that's done for so many people around the whole world, because somebody was like, hey, I could do this and that could be cool.
Yes.
That's amazing.
How about this? Talk about innovative thinking.
I'm ready.
Will.i.am. Did anybody see what Will.i.am recently has been working on?
Oh my God.
He was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I saw
actually think
that.
he was endorsed. I think there was a reason why he was at the Super Bowl. And you guys got to check this out. He did something freaking awesome. So what he did is he partnered up with Mercedes and AMG. And I don't know how that relationship works, but I think most or all of the Mercedes also have the AMG kind of thing with it. Maybe that's the motor company or something like that. Maybe they're
Yes.
sister companies. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But he partnered up with AMG Mercedes. And he said to them, if you give me the sensors for the accelerator, the brakes, the steering wheel, the accelerometer. I don't know what that. The gyros for how the car tilts. If you give me the sensors for all of that, what I can do is I can build a sound generator. So, dude, what he has done is he has turned driving a Mercedes into
an audio experience.
An audio composition experience. So if you accelerate hard, it makes a sound. If you back off of the accelerator, it makes a sound. Now, these are synth type sounds. Some are low end, some are high end. If you turn hard, it does this. If you turn the other way, it turns that. If you turn soft, it turns that. If you slam the brakes, if you tap the brakes, if you do this, if you do that, it all creates different sounds.
Can I?
That's dangerous. I'm going to be
It's
beatboxing
super
in my
dangerous.
Oh
car.
my God! I'm literally thinking every
gas
person
brake,
in this house
gas
would be like,
gas brake, gas
Right.
brake,
left, right,
gas
left,
brake,
right, left, right.
gas brake.
But
Swerve.
let me tell you,
Swerve.
like, there is
To the
video
right.
out there of
To the
this
left.
thing, and it looks absolutely amazing.
Sick
It
as
looks
fuck.
so
I bet
cool.
you it's so fun.
It
So-
looks so cool.
For the record, AMG is a subsidiary of Mercedes-Benz.
Right, Mercedes owns it.
But it's like AMG is a specific type of models. So it's like
Okay,
the
so it's
Mercedes
like the-
AMG models
Shelby,
have that.
but it's-
yeah.
but it's-
well, I don't think it's like that. I think it's like the
Okay, whatever.
M class or the S
Fine.
class
Fair
or
enough.
whatever,
Fair enough.
like for BMW or Audi or whatever it is. That's absurd. So it's like it like plays music based off
The
of your
car
driving.
the car can actually like compose music.
But is it playing while you're driving?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
that's the part that would mess with my driving because
no.
I'd be trying to.
I totally agree.
I'd be trying to jam instead.
Of course.
I'd be sitting at a parking or a stoplight, turning my wheel.
No, that's
keeping the
exactly what he
tunes
was
rolling.
doing. That's exactly what he was doing. But the thing is it's like smart. I think that I don't know. I don't know everything about it. I do highly recommend everybody looks up the Will.i.am AMG partnership. And
Don't you
there's
kind of want to
videos
test
about
drive
him-
one just for fun?
There's videos of him showing how this thing works, and it looks really, really, really
I
cool.
literally kind of want to go to a Mercedes dealership just to be like.
what a creative idea!
And honestly, like
Let me
you
tap
can drive
into your
it. I don't even
sensors,
need
yeah.
to drive it, but
I
take
want
me
the
for a spin.
sensors.
I want to like.
I'll use
hear
those
it.
as the audio
super
kind of
cool.
As the
generators.
input, yeah.
And then it'll hit them. You know, it's a super cool idea.
Every
super
movement with the
innovative,
car hits a
super
different button on the
creative.
Love
synth.
it.
Will.i.am is is
He's a
He
genius.
is a very creative human
yeah.
being.
I
He's
think
a
he's done
genius.
some really cool things, and
and all for
right
good
on,
that
brother.
I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think he's a shithead. I think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a Peter Tosh. I can't believe Peter Tosh did that to freaking. I cannot believe that. I thought Peter Tosh was a good guy, man.
I mean,
One
you know,
love.
Maybe
you
he was a
always
good
think-
guy and he was like out of his mind and
Who
Who
something.
knows? I mean, yeah, it's that gives me like similar vibes to the
That's Bob Marley, baby.
The Whalers were there.
Well, yeah, Peter was there.
Right.
Peter was there.
He's
Maybe.
saying that
Yeah, no,
song a lot
that-
of times. I'm sure.
The Peter Tosh incident gives me like total James Brown on the James Brown interview vibes. There's an interview of James Brown after an altercation with his wife, where he
After he got arrested, I think.
for
running his wife over with a car.
yeah, he like ran her over, might
I mean,
have
maybe
shot
I
the
didn't
car
see
a
her.
little bit. There was some shit, and then he was on the news, and he had his sunglasses on. He was definitely not
The next morning, promoting a tour to like Buenos Aires.
all the way with us. And the lady's like, "Yeah, you like so you're going to Buenos Aires?" And he's like, "Living in America," and it just keeps going. This man is out of his mind.
The best part,
it
the
is
best
one of
video
the greatest
to
interviews
consume
I've
that
ever
is the
seen.
one when the is it Key or Peel
Jordan Peele.
when Jordan Peele does it kind of side by side with James. That's really funny.
Yeah,
All right, there's a lot more on James Brown that we could cover and we should cover into the future. I think that we should move on. It's time for the secret swimmer. In this segment, one of us will give us several facts about an artist, and the rest of us will try and guess who that artist is.
one of us being Mom, Jen.
Wom mom.
Want mom?
Jen.
Wom mom.
Hi, I'm Want Mom.
Wom mom.
Wow, Mom
All right.
Silvas.
Are you guys ready?
Wow, mama.
Dude, this one's good.
Born ready.
This is going to be super fun.
She's telling us it's good and it's going to be fun.
I'm so excited. I
I'm
love when things are
forward
good
to
and
this.
fun.
I hope that it goes well.
Oh, yes.
Me
Okay.
too.
This
Okay.
person.
I'm going to win this time.
I
Okay.
don't know about that one, Sonny.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
This is
Okay.
the secret
Here
swimmer.
we go. Here we go.
It's a female.
Here we go. Okay.
Shit.
Wow, mom.
Aretha Franklin.
Keep the airwaves quiet. Huh?
Sinead O'Connor.
I want to hear these.
This female is interesting
Carly Simon.
in the respect that she holds dual citizenship in America and in the UK, but she was born in America.
Madonna.
No.
Celine Dion.
No.
French.
French? Oh, that makes
Oh,
a
wait,
lot
wait,
of fucking
wait.
sense.
Don't go too fast. Give us a second.
Hold on.
She's
some time.
born in America. She's got UK citizenship as well.
Yes.
Meghan Markle.
Cyndi Lauper.
No. Neither of those.
Fergie.
No.
There's two Fergies, right?
There are two Fergies. Neither of them is the one I'm referring to. And the Fergie that is British does not, to my knowledge, have U.S. citizenship.
Posh Spice. Beckham.
Oh, good call, but no.
Oh, wait.
Is that posh? Is she posh?
Victoria
Victoria?
Beckham, but she was born
Bend it.
in
Wait,
London.
is she married to
Or in-
David
That's
Beckham?
in the UK.
Yeah.
Bend it like Beckham.
Dude, they're hilarious.
She's the
together.
one that recently had the scene where she was talking about her
Her-
dad driving a Bentley, right?
She was,
No,
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 she was talking
she
about
was-
it growing
she
up
was
in
like-
a
she's
normal
like, I had a
life, and her
modest
dad was
upbringing,
like,
and
wait,
he's like-
or David was like,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
whatever.
What kind
We
of
don't-
car did your dad drive?
Right, right.
She's like,
She
well,
was
it
like, "A
depends
Bentley."
when. And he was like, when you were in high school. And she
Yeah,
was
right,
like,
right.
"A
We don't
Bentley."
need to go into it too much.
It was funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Dual
Tell me when you're ready
citizenship.
for
That's our
another
only
clue.
our only clue
You're-
right now,
so
right?
far, female, dual citizenship,
yeah.
American born.
Living person.
Yes.
Okay.
Born in America.
Next question.
Yeah, I'm done.
They're
for
not
another
questions.
hint.
They're hints.
Okay. While trying to achieve her UK citizenship, she tried to get several people to marry her in order to attain that, including Steve Jones and then Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols.
Nancy.
No.
Okay. Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols. So we're talking. Is it
So-
Chrissie Hynde?
Yes, it is. Well done. I
Nice
was going to
job.
go way deeper.
Nice job.
It's
All
nice
right.
to nail something for fucking once. We
Yeah.
do know what we're talking about. I swear.
Never
Some of
once
the
in my
time.
life would I have gotten that.
Except Mason gives us shitty clues most of the time.
You would not. Do you know who she is from the Pretenders?
Yeah, I know who she is. I just never would have guessed that.
Oh.
I feel like we end there.
Wow.
That was great. Do it again, Noah. One more time.
I
You can do it.
Everyone take your turn. Dad.
She tried to get Johnny Rotten to marry her to get
So
her
she
UK.
could get her UK citizenship
Dad.
because she wanted to live there so she could work there, and she couldn't get a work permit. So she was trying to get them to marry her so she could stay. Oh, and Ray Davies.
Dad, it goes
She
like.
got Ray
I want to
Davies
hear
do
your
it
other
too.
Yeah,
facts.
let's hear
I
the
wanna-
other
I wanna
Dad,
hear your other-
Dad, it goes like. Oh. Yeah.
With the keyboards. The
Yeah.
And I'm back in the fight. Okay.
Yeah.
So
else you got?
my other clues were, hold on. She's done songs with Frank Sinatra, Cher, and UB40.
Yeah, she was, I think, the one that did "I Got You, Babe" with UB40. The
Oh,
Sonny and Cher
yeah.
song.
I recently discovered that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Okay,
Horrible, but I
so
love
here's
it.
how
I
it
love
worked out.
It's great.
Horrible.
She was
but I love
unable
it.
to get a work visa, so she asked Sid Vicious and Johnny Rotten to marry her,
Sid Vicious.
And-
That's like
and neither of them would do it.
that just goes to show. So like they were pop or poppy in
UK.
No, in the United States, but she had a prime history prior to that. She was a punk,
Okay,
a real one that asked Sid fucking Vicious to marry her.
wait,
Johnny
so
Rotten.
wait, this gets
And Johnny
so much
Rotten.
better.
And
Wait,
Ray
this
Davies.
gets so much more fun. Okay, so then she and Ray Davies have a wedding planned in 1982.
And Ray Davies or Dave Davies?
Ray Davies.
She was going to marry.
Let me finish.
Okay, go.
They planned to wed in 1982, but the guy at the registry office, when they showed up, looked at both of them and said, you should just come back another time. So they never went back. They had a child together. And then she ended up in 1984 marrying Jim Kerr from Simple Minds.
What?
Yep.
What? Mason, I'm sure that means a
And
great
then they
deal to
lived in
you, right?
Scotland until 1990.
Simple Minds. I've never. I don't. Is that a show?
No, it's the
No,
band.
Simple
Don't
Minds is-
you
Simple Minds is
forget about
boom,
me.
shout.
Cool. All right.
Let it all out.
We don't need to all
I
sing
knew
at
what
once.
Simple Minds was
So
when she said
I
I
wanna
think that's
say-
interesting because it means she went from an 60s artist to an 80s artist.
Yeah.
That's
And it's kind of funny,
a
like
decade jump.
Yeah, it's a big deal. There's before we sign off, this is reminding me of this movie that I watched a long time ago. It's called 24-Hour Party People. And it's a movie. It was put out in 2002, and it is about Manchester's popular music community from 1976 to 1992.
Cool.
And specifically about Factory Records. I highly suggest that anybody who loves music watches this movie. It is a series of insights that are very different.
Is it like a documentary style?
No, it's a movie. It's a fabulous movie. You've actually seen it or seen parts of it, or you slept through parts of it while I watched it. Not sure which, but it's a fabulous movie that gives you insights into Manchester during those years, which is a very influential period of time. I believe, if I recall correctly, that Chrissie's in at least bits and pieces of it, and you get a little taste of who she was. But it's not just about that. It's also about all of the other cool music that was coming out during those years. And let me tell you, there's a lot. So a lot of it is, I see, ecstasy fueled in here, like some of the 80s stuff, like the.
It sounds almost like a punk/rock version of the Laurel Canyon.
It is.
scene.
It's a documentary, or it's not a documentary. It's a movie about a time in which cool shit happened in a specific area. Totally. So
Cool.
anyway, so that's that. What a fabulous time I had today.
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful for the time that we got. I'm thankful for the new microphones that we got. I hope that they're
snazz.
sound better.
We're gonna have a new table soon. That's gonna be exciting.
We're working on a table. The table's going to be amazing. It's a beautiful piece of dark, rich walnut. And then a second piece of dark, rich walnut that are the legs with some beautiful blue epoxy. Mason spent about 300 hours sanding this week.
God willing, it'll be done next week.
Jen has been
There aren't 300
Sanding.
hours in a week, just so we're all.
a lot
I've
of
helped.
hours.
It was
This is the
520
cow
chiming in.
minutes,
Sweat.
600
You know.
minutes.
There aren't even
The
300
police.
hours yet.
Pull over.
Where are we going now?
Oh, no. Eddie Murphy Raw. Pull over. Okay,
All right,
all right. It is time to sign off.
Yeah, who's gonna sign off last this time?
I am. And
Yeah,
it's-
you're
and
gonna.
it-
You're.
and-
Can
and
I
You're
go
going last?
penultimate?
I'm going last.
Who's
We'll go
going first?
Mom, Mason, Noah, Jer.
Mom,
sounds good.
Mason, Noah, Jared.
Parent sandwich.
We are so thankful to have had time to hang out, and we hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us. Please stop by again soon, and don't forget to subscribe or follow or like us or send a review or any of the other things you can do.
Push the button.
Click it.
Mom. That would be Mason is next.
MC Hewitt. Wicka wicka woo.
You're all a bunch of splendid and beautiful creatures. I hope you have a great week until I can speak to you next. Have great dreams and sweet, sweet wishes. Goodbye.
I need you to listen to me. I really hope you've enjoyed today.
Get your face off the mic.
This is my time. If I had a gavel, I would be banging it. I hope you've had a splendid time. I can't wait till next I'll see you later.
I'll see you in my dreams if you keep fucking whispering like that, dude. It's fucking scary.
What do we call those weird videos?
ASMR.
Yeah, you know.
Does it sound better on our new microphone?
I'm sure
know
it
what you're
does.
talking
A
about.
sound microphone. That's what it's ASMR.
A sound microphone.
All right, it's time for us to close this thing out. Fishies swimming, we are grinning. Thanks for being with us today. This is live from the lake. This is our family of passionate, beautiful people.
We can't
sharing
wait to
our
take
time.
you on the lake.
You're just an inner fucking ruptor today.
I can't help it. I'm sorry.
And you're just an eye fucking poker.
I poked Jen's eye today by accident. It's all caught on video if anybody needs to review it. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate you. Click the button. Like us. Subscribe. Give us some love. We need all the love we can get. I hope that you have a fabulous day and evening. That you sleep well.